Hey everyone, this is Kevin the Apptrepreneur, and today we're going to be talking about Facebook because Facebook has announced something really drastic a couple days ago. They are getting rid of their very popular, and some would say very problematic, trending feature on the side of the Facebook page. And yeah, this is a very interesting thing. I have for years had a love-hate relationship with the trending. On one hand, trending was a very logical thing for the site to implement. What are people talking about en masse? That was great, and you'd have wonderful things like you would see Shenmue 3 trending on Facebook right next to, the White House dinner with Obama. It was wonderful. Like, you got a true sense of what people were talking about. It was also a very toxic thing because a lot of fake news and stories spread that way. This included the Dreamcast 2, the fact that Obama wasn't born in America, the Russian collusion, which I'm sorry to all my viewers, I don't think there's any Russian collusion. I think that's a desperate grab witch hunt by the Democrats, much like Hillary's deleted emails was a desperate grab witch hunt by the Republicans. I don't think either of these things were a huge deal, or at least not as big of a deal as people wanted to make them out to be. And the sidebar, or the trending, I should say, was a very problematic thing, and that got Facebook in a lot of trouble for the fake news, because admittingly, this is one of the reasons that fake stories spread. Someone would read a story, and it was clearly not real, but they would share it to one friend, then they'd share it to 5 friends, and before you know it, it's trending, and it's not even real. Even simple things like, oh, we're getting Dexter Season 9. We never got Dexter Season 9, and Michael C. Hall had to actually address the topic because it was trending on Facebook based on something someone just said. So I wasn't too surprised when Facebook decided to change the algorithm, where now the topics had to be approved by a reputable source. CNN, NBC, Fox News. These were things that would have to approve the stories as being verified. But then that created the illusion that maybe the big conglomerate media companies that people were already accusing of controlling too much of the news was now controlling what we learned on Facebook. And apparently Facebook just decided, we just got to kill this or do something new. So according to Wired, Facebook is getting rid of its trending topics feature, according to a blog post the social media network published Friday. The trending sidebar, located on the right-hand side of the desktop, displays popular topics users are discussing across the site. The product will officially shutter next week, including on third-party services that use the Facebook Trends API. Alex Hardiman, Facebook's head of news products, said the company is ditching the feature because it's underused. That's what they're going with? They're going with underused. You see, here's the thing. I knew that they were shuttering this thing a couple days ago, but I'm late to getting it. I didn't know the details. I didn't read any articles, so underused. That's really the reason you're getting rid of it because it caused problems. But it has also been a major source of scandals for Facebook since it was launched in 2014. Yeah, that's why you're getting rid of it, because it created scandals. The feature, formerly run by journalists, was taken over by an automated system in 2016. After the switch, trending topics repeatedly surfaced conspiracy theories and outright false information. Similar trending features have caused headaches for other social networks like YouTube and Twitter. Now, Facebook is ditching it for good. Every social network's trending selection is theoretically designed to surface newsworthy, relevant information for users, but repeatedly they have inadvertently highlighted harmful misinformation or been gamed by bots. This is true. Trending topics have been particularly disastrous for Facebook. In 2016, the feature thrusted the social network into a major scandal when Gizmodo revealed that the journalists who ran it were reportedly suppressing news from conservative outlets, which I also believe. I know some people say that's not true. I think it is. I mean, I watch YouTube. I watch some of the conservative channels like Ranting Monkey and Mundane Matt. And I watch the liberal channels like the Young Turks and Dennis Riley. For some reason, I watch Dennis Riley. And here's the thing. It's always interesting how, these topics can be discussed by the liberal channels and be monetized, but the ones talking about the exact same topics, but on the conservative point of view, they get demonetized or they get suppressed. I think that is a real thing. And so, yeah, that was another controversy for the Facebook trending. 3 months after the revelation and one inquiry from Congress later, Facebook laid off the journalists in charge of the feature and began relying on an algorithm to surface trending topics. Facebook said that an internal investigation found no bias in the product. I'm sure they didn't. Soon the algorithm began inadvertently surfacing less than optimal results. Just days after it was instituted, trending topics displayed a factually incorrect story about Megyn Kelly, which purported the Fox News anchor had been fired for backing Hillary Clinton, which wasn't true. There have been many other incidents. In one, the trending topics highlight is supposedly the new iPhone soon to be released, which had literally magic features, which, you know, the reason that might have come up is because Apple always says our products are like magic. Like, they magically do this, apparently. And it's like, that's... the algorithm can't tell the difference between, like, a marketing word. Yeah, that's bad. The source was a satirical story from the real Indian news site First Post. Facebook is far from alone in its struggles with trending topics. In the aftermath of the Majority Stoneman Douglas High School shooting in February, YouTube briefly awarded its top trending spot to a video that claimed one of the survivors, David Hogg, was in fact an actor. Not true, even though I think that kid is an idiot. I think that the female girl who also is an activist, I think her name is Emily Gonzalez. I don't remember. I think she was a lot better. Twitter's trending feature has notoriously been manipulated by bots or swarms of organized users deliberately pushing a specific agenda. For years, though, Facebook refused to give up on trending topics. And there's a reason for that. It's because this is what's kind of scary. Facebook is where a lot of people get their news. It's a weird concept, but a lot of people get their news from Facebook and YouTube. And here's the thing. I'm technically in the news business when it comes to YouTube. I'm not a perfect journalist. I obviously make mistakes. I try to correct them when I do. But the thing is, it does kind of scare me that YouTube and Facebook are the main sources of news, because anyone can make YouTube videos, clearly, and anyone can write Facebook posts. And when you rely on those people and those sources as your main source of news, you aren't exactly sure where you're getting your information from sometimes. And people can fabricate, news all the time, and they frequently do, especially on Facebook. So that is why Facebook never wanted to give up the trending topics, because as long as they had it, all the people who got their news, who liked their news in one place, would basically get it from Facebook. In fact, here's the thing. I'm going to show you how old school I am in this. Sorry for that. But I actually still get my news from, for example, the Washington Post. Like, this is the Nook. My Nook is my newspaper reader. All the newspapers I'm subscribed to, I can read on my tablet. I also, for the record, love this thing as my tablet for reading Weekly Shonen Jump. So I really like my Nook. I like my Nook a lot more than I like the Kindle. So anyway, I actually subscribe to news sources, but a lot of people don't want to do that, so they got their news from Facebook, which is dangerous. Probably the topic of another video altogether, but that's why Facebook was reluctant to give it up. But as you can see, they're kind of being forced into that situation because they haven't handled it well. Last year, the social network gave the product a reboot. Facebook began designating a topic as trending, depending not on a single article, but instead depending on how many publishers posted stories on the same topic, as well as how many people liked, shared, and commented on those articles. Facebook also stopped personalizing trending topics based on user-specific interests. Despite the changes, concerns over trending topics have lingered. The same Gizmodo article was brought up repeatedly by lawmakers during Facebook CEO Mark Zuckerberg's hearings on Capitol Hill in April. Despite all the trouble trending topics has caused, the feature was never that popular. I doubt that. I seriously doubt that. It's only available in 5 countries. Really? And accounts for less than 1.5% of clicks to news publishers on average, according to Facebook's blog post did Friday. Well, that's a key word, news publishers. A lot of the articles that trended, they're not always from news publishers. They're from personal sites or blogs or YouTube videos. So Obviously, if the publishers are the ones who are controlling the trending topics bar now, they're going to be very upset if it's not leading to more people reading their articles. Let's see here. The social network is also testing Today In, a section designed to connect users to news from local sources. It will include updates from lawmakers and other officials. Despite its problems, trending topics wasn't all bad. The feature was an important way for people to gauge what the internet was talking about and to learn about news stories they thought might have otherwise missed. In the end, the product was likely too much of a headache for what it was worth. Rest in peace, trending topics. And it makes sense that Facebook would try to salvage this in some way. Because again, despite what this article says, I think it was a very important tool for why people kept going to Facebook. You can go to Facebook to get your news and see the cat videos and watch anime rants from, well, my other channel that nobody here seems to visit. But it's clear that they had to do something. So I think Today In is basically going to be trending. It's just going to be a little different. It's also interesting that they are talking about how Today In is going to be about lawmakers and local news, which means, I guess, does that mean they're actually going to take out stories about Disney and Marvel and Roseanne getting her show axed? Because those are things that people do read, and they click on them a lot. And the way they make it sound it's going to be just for politics. Like, Today In is going to be basically the Facebook news, or Facebook headlines, whatever it is. And it will probably be controlled by the news media conglomerates who will pay to control that, trending bar, because that's what it's going to be. It's going to be a trending bar. And they're going to, they're just going to do that. So it's going to be interesting what happens with the Facebook trending at this point, what they're going to replace it with. But what do you folks think? Do you think the Facebook trending is going away completely? Do you think the new name is just the same product? Did you ever like Facebook trending? Did you ever dislike it? I would love to know. Comment below, like, favorite, share, subscribe. If you enjoy the videos I make, consider becoming a Patreon member for as little as $1 a month. It's totally optional, but every little bit helps this channel run smoothly with new content on a near daily basis. As always, flame responsibly. Have a good one.